Hey everyone, Commander Josh Hawkins here, and welcome to the Complete Beginner's Guide to No Man's Sky. Saying that No Man's Sky is a big game is an incredible understatement, since it's very likely to be one of the biggest games ever made. With 18 quintillion planets to explore, it's easy to lose your direction quickly, since unfortunately, the game itself doesn't do a very good job of making it clear as to what you need to do. Over the next few minutes, we're going to be taking a look at everything from gathering items to fixing your ship and getting your hyperdrive, as well as a whole ton of tips and tricks to help you get your journey to the center of the galaxy started the right way. First off, let's take a look at your heads-up display. In the top left corner is your shield and health, indicated by a bar and a bunch of little boxes with plus symbols in them. Your shields will automatically regenerate over time, but you'll need to find special plants or health stations to replenish your health. In the bottom left-hand corner, you'll find your hazard management and life support meters. No Man's Sky is just as much a survival game as it is a space exploration game, and many of the game's planets will require you to keep an eye on these two meters in order to stay alive. The game does a good job of reminding you when your life support or hazard suit are getting low on energy, but always make sure to keep a small supply of the right resources in your inventory and constantly be topping up these meters. Tip: either zinc or titanium will recharge your hazard suit. I keep one stack of these on me at all times to ensure that I don't run out, and anything more just takes up inventory space, so get rid of it. Once you have your multi-tool fixed up, the top right of the screen will show you any available ammo, a heat meter, as well as an agrometer, similar to what you have in games like Grand Theft Auto. The universe is guarded by a race of robots that protect each planet's environment and ensure that you aren't strip mining it of all the resources. If they catch you taking more than your fair share, they'll come after you in numbers. Tip: you can easily kill sentinel robots that catch you taking too many resources, but it's just as easy to avoid them. If they fly over to you, just stop resource gathering and move somewhere else, or kill them quickly before they call in reinforcements. And finally, at the top of your screen is a compass that will help you in finding your ship, regardless of how far away you've managed to walk. Just turn around if you don't see anything on it at first, and you'll eventually see a white hexagon with a little ship icon pointing you in the right direction. When you first start off the game, you'll find yourself stranded on a random planet somewhere in the galaxy with a broken ship and no working equipment. Unless you really want to spend the rest of your time playing the game on only one planet, which I suppose technically you could do, you're going to need to get started with some repairs. But before you start wandering around, check the area around the ship for containers that may contain useful items such as blueprints. Blueprints don't take up any space, and you always want to pick them up whenever you can. Almost everything in No Man's Sky can be harvested as a resource, and the first thing you're going to want to fix is your scanner and analysis visor, which you'll need 25 iron and 25 carbon to do. These are two of the most abundant resources in the game, and you can get them from pretty much anything you see around you. But don't start filling up your bags with them just yet. Inventory space is extremely limited in No Man's Sky, so grab only what you need to fix those two and move on to the next step. Once your scanner and visor are repaired, you'll be able to start scanning the fauna and flora around you. Scan everything. Pretty much everything you see in No Man's Sky can be scanned. Rocks, plants, and animals are all scannable, and will provide you with credits once you've uploaded them from the options menu. Don't expect to become filthy rich doing this, but it's a great way to kickstart your bank account. Tip: there's a bonus for scanning everything on a planet, so if you are a completionist, make sure to check your Discoveries tab in the menu to see how much you're missing. Now that your OMNI-TOOL is fully repaired, you'll want to start working on getting the resources to get your ship back up and running. The ship's launch thruster and pulse engine will both need carite sheets, which require 50 iron each to craft, and you'll need a total of 6 carite sheets to repair both. The game starts you off with one in your inventory, so you'll need to go out and gather 250 iron for the other 5. You can repair the launch thruster no matter how far away you are from your ship, so do that right away and free up the inventory space so you can get to the next required resources, 20 zinc and 200 iridium. These two might require that you move a bit further away from the ship since they're not as abundant as iron and carbon, but shouldn't be too hard to find. Zinc is usually found in plants, and you'll probably only need to find one in order to get the 20 zinc that you need. Tip: you may want to grab some extra zinc since it's used to recharge your hazard suit. I usually keep one stack in my exosuit at all times, just in case. Also, keep your eyes open for plutonium and thamium-9. Grab a stack of each if you see them and transfer them to your ship. You'll need them later to power your engines and launch thrusters. I had a harder time finding Hyperdrive, but there's a helpful tool in-game that will point you in the right direction. Right next to your crash ship is a distress beacon. If you choose to accept guidance from the Atlas, it will guide you towards the right resource with a new icon on your radar. You can also use your scanner to find Hyperdrive and other valuable resources like gold. Once you activate your scanner, it sends off a pulse in all directions that will highlight these resources with a glowing grid, which you'll then want to run over and start mining. Tip: if you find you're running low on inventory space in your exosuit, you can transfer inventory to your ship from anywhere. Your ship can hold about twice as much per stack as your exosuit, but once you transfer it, you won't be able to get it back unless you're next to the ship. So, don't transfer the resources that you need for your hazard suit and life support. When you do start having to travel greater distance on foot, try sprinting. There's no land vehicles in No Man's Sky, so you're going to be doing a lot of running around. Here's a fun trick that will help you get around even quicker. While sprinting, hit your melee button and then immediately press and hold the jetpack button and you'll get a nice little boost forward. Tip: your jetpack will also let you scale steep cliffs. Just run towards the cliff and hold your jetpack button and you'll slowly make your way up to the top. Once your ship is repaired, if your destination is more than a few minutes away, you may want to fly there to save some time. You'll consume plutonium each time you take off, but the time you'll save versus running on foot will more than make up for it. And plutonium is easy enough to find. As you've already noticed from gathering materials with your OMNI-TOOL, it heats up pretty quick. And when you're collecting a large amount of resources like iron, Hyperdrive, or gold, you'll need to learn how to maximize your time spent mining by managing the heat output of your OMNI-TOOL. When you squeeze the trigger on your OMNI-TOOL, it begins to heat up. If you don't let go, it'll eventually overheat, and you'll be left staring at a flashing heat bar that then takes time to dissipate before you can keep mining. But heat management works kinda strangely in No Man's Sky. If you let your heat get to about 95% and then take your finger off the trigger, your heat returns to 0 and you can start firing again without having to wait for a cooldown. This will help you avoid unnecessary waste of time waiting on a cooldown and will speed up your mining tremendously. Tip: use carbon to charge your weapon. Even if you're at about 10%, you'll still have enough battery life to farm enough carbon to charge yourself back up to full power, and it's pretty much everywhere. Assuming you also picked up some plutonium and thamium, you should be ready to power up your ship and start flying around. If you didn't find these two resources yet, look for a cave nearby where they can both easily be found, but be careful with caves. It's really easy to get lost in them, and early in the game, you won't have a way to tunnel your way out. With your ship up and running, you're going to want to get to a space station as soon as you can. Launch your ship, point up towards the stars, and you'll soon be in space. Scanning the local system will provide you with an icon pointing towards the nearest space station, and engage your pulse drives to get there. You'll automatically drop out at the station, and all you'll have to do is fly through the gates. Once there, you'll find vendors that will help you to understand the value of the different elements and resources you've been gathering, and give you an idea of what types of materials you want to hang on to, and which of those you can easily get rid of when you eventually run out of inventory space. And you will run out of inventory space. There are plenty of things to do in space stations, and you may want to spend a little time chatting with the locals and taking note of what they have to offer. Some of the ships that come into land will be happy to pay higher than average market prices on certain resources, and you can even buy their ships if you have enough units. But make sure that if you buy a new ship, you transfer everything from your old one first, otherwise you'll lose it all. When you're ready to leave your first space station, you'll receive a very important incoming beacon signal that you're going to want to head to as soon as possible. Head to the beacon and follow the waypoint it provides, where you'll meet a very nice NPC who, out of the kindness of his own heart, will give you the blueprint you need to construct your own hyperdrive. By this point, if you've been scanning everything and picking up loot along the way, you'll probably have some extra Hyperdrive and enough units to buy a dynamic resonator from the Galactic Trade Terminal and construct your hyperdrive. You'll need to craft a warp cell in order to power it, and for that, you're going to need antimatter. You'll be able to craft antimatter as well, but it's quite easy to get enough credits to just buy it from the trade terminal. I spent about 15 minutes gathering enough materials to get the credits for it and took the lazy route. With your warp cell crafted, you can now charge your warp drive. With your hyperdrive installed, head to your ship, launch into space, and press M to bring up the galaxy map. The map will give you indicators pointing you in the direction of the core, but you have the choice to fly anywhere you want. No Man's Sky is a sandbox-style game, and at this point, you'll have all the basics to set off on your journey, so the galaxy is your oyster. You can follow the path the game suggests, or carve your own path through the universe. The choice is yours. Just remember that there is a virtually unlimited number of planets to explore, plants and animals to examine, and an entire universe to discover, so don't rush it. Getting to the center of the galaxy may be what most people will see as the endgame for No Man's Sky, but a sandbox game like this is best enjoyed when you're taking your time to appreciate all the little things. So sit back, relax, and take in all this incredible game has to offer. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it helps you get started on your journey. If you did, you can help me out by clicking the like button below, and I always appreciate hearing your feedback in the comments section. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all next time. This is Commander Josh Hawkins, signing off.